everybody. Welcome to another week of live streams. Thank you for gifting a membership, J. King. And on that note, as I do at the beginning of every week, I'm going to gift 5 memberships. So here I go. And I want to thank everybody again for their tremendous generosity on Friday when we had almost 1,000 memberships gifted. That was incredible. And I see some of you are in the chat today who got a gifted membership. So welcome and congratulations. So let's see here. I'm buying the 5. I do that every week. There they go. Woohoo! And I saw somebody else just gifted some memberships. Dancing Dog 60. Thank you so much. So this is this stream is let's see here. You guys can see me, right? I don't know why. There we go. There it is. Okay, I had a problem there. Oh, Michael, your generosity. You know, Michael gifted some memberships on Friday, in fact. You guys are very, very sweet. And Tanya gifted 5 memberships. Wow, again, you guys are so generous. It's just really incredible. So during the stream, though, because this is such an info dump, I'm not going to answer any questions while we're going. Save your questions till the end. Thank you, Andrew, for gifting a membership. Save your questions until the end, and then I'll answer all of them, okay? We'll do a supersized Ask Me Anything, all right? That's what we're going to do because Disney had so much information that they gave out today, it totally threw off my schedule. I was going to do an Elemental review, but instead we're going to cover this. And then you know what I have to do after this? I've got to watch my Secret Invasion screeners. Oh, I got 2 episodes. Oh, thank you, Roger. I got, Michael. Did Michael gift a membership? I'm not answering any questions. I did say something to Michael. Thank you, Fent. Thank you, Fent, for gifting a membership. So anyway, I got 2 Secret Invasion episodes, and the review embargo lifts tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time. So I got to get that review ready, and I'll review Elemental tomorrow as well. Hey, Frederick, thanks for gifting a membership. So pretty exciting stuff. I've heard very good things from some people who've seen some of Secret Invasion. In fact, somebody told me it was the best Disney Marvel show to date on Disney Plus, which better than Loki. I'm having a hard time believing, but I am very excited about it. All right, Josh, as I just said, the review embargo for Secret Invasion lifts tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I've got graphics. I got an arrow so that we can go all over this. It's going to be great. All right, hold on. Hold on, wait a minute. Where's my image? Okay, so there we go. This was the info dump from Disney today. They moved around a lot of stuff, and they added some movies as well. But it's very interesting. So let's start out with Avatar. Hold on. All right, so there's the arrow so that if you're not watching this live, you can better see what we're discussing if maybe something piques your interest more than other movies do. All right. I know, Elliot. I know people are watching Secret Invasion right now, but I chose to instead do this live stream first. But I don't know why you would even say that, Elliot. Yes, I have my Secret Invasion screeners right now. Okay, so anyway, I was annoying, Elliot. All right, so here are the movies, right? So, I mean, I could have just guessed, gone and watched them and forgotten all this, right? I mean, come on. I can't review it until tomorrow no matter what, and the social media embargo isn't until midnight. There ain't no booping. There ain't no booping because we just have one story today. All right, so let me just cleanse that from my mind and not get upset for the entire stream. And let's instead talk about these release dates that have been moved. All right, so Avatar. Avatar 3 has been, so the way this is done, okay, is that you see the name of the movie, its new release date, and then, not in bold, next to it is how long it's been delayed or its previous release date if it's just by a couple of months, okay? So Avatar 3 has been pushed back a year to 2025. And then Avatar, so that's interesting because, now there's 3 years between Avatar 2 and 3. And I have to tell you, I think that's a good idea. I think it's a mistake to have Avatars come out together too close, because part of the appeal is, I think you can see other franchises have oversaturated the marketplace. So I think it's better to let people miss Avatar. So Avatar, therefore, I think, 3 years is maybe not even enough. But I think, I think people are excited, and he did film part of this, so I guess he wants to get it going. But it does, I think, in my opinion, make it more of an event film if they don't come out every once in a while. Then what's very interesting is that between Avatar 3 and 4, there's a 4-year gap. Another year, but that's very far away. I wonder, 2029 and 2031. It does make me wonder if they're going to, James Cameron has said he might bring in a new director for the final films. So thank you, Simon, for gifting a membership. And it makes me feel like, maybe he's bringing in, either James Cameron is bringing in a new director, or James Cameron wants to do something else because he doesn't want to make Avatar movies for the rest of his life, although he kind of is. We'll talk about that in a moment. But maybe he wants to be able to go and do something else and then come back to it. Maybe they're like, whoa, why don't you take a break, Jimmy, rather than go and let it somebody else. Thank you, Simon, for gifting the membership. I think I thanked you. But yeah, so I think that might be why there's that difference. But we'll see what they decide to do. But here's what's interesting, and this is why Avatar 5 was trending, even though they moved all 3 films. Avatar 5 will come out 22 years after the first film. What a feat for Jimmy! Definitely, I think, Hollywood history with the same talent involved for such a long period of time. I think that's incredible. But you know what else is interesting? That's almost 10 years from now. I mean, take care of yourself, Jimmy. I mean, that's nuts. It's going to take 10 years from now to finish this story. I hope people are still interested, but we said that about the first one, and they are. So I think that's very interesting indeed. So I've never seen anybody do this. I mean, franchises certainly have lasted a long time, but they've taken long breaks, or they've had a lot of other talent directly involved. This is very much from the mind of James Cameron. And so let's see if he can do it. But that's just absolutely incredible to me, to even plan to release a movie in 2031. Again, 8 years from now. That's nuts. All right, so that's what's going on with Avatar, okay? And I believe, again, it's to give the movies breathing room so they continue to feel like events, and also maybe to give James Cameron a little space to maneuver, either to hire someone else or to give at least himself a little bit of a break. All right, so next group of movies. Oh, we're talking about the MCU. Now, this was big. The MCU made significant changes. So they're doing major reshuffling, I believe, for the following reasons. The writer's strike, I think that's a very big deal. Obviously, what's going on with Jonathan Majors is having an impact on their release schedule. And then also, optimal performance. I think that this has been restructured to maybe get, thank you, Armando, for gifting a membership. I think to try and make sure these movies do well, because they faltered a little bit. And I think they're trying to restructure it to make sure they have strong wins, like victories. Now, what's interesting to me is that you'll see that they've really locked down their summer kickoff movies. Marvel has kicked off the summer movie season almost since its inception. Every summer starts off with a Marvel movie. And if some other studio comes in and grabs it, which hasn't only rarely happened, Marvel goes and opens in April, late April, so that they still kind of kick off the summer movie season. They don't mess around. So you can see that Deadpool 3 is now a summer kickoff movie. That's incredible. I think they must have tremendous faith in it. And also, I think the return of Fox's X-Men, which I think will be a major event. So that's very exciting. And then Fantastic Four is now a summer kickoff movie, thanks to Avengers Kang Dynasty having to move. So that's great for Fantastic Four. And that's a nice little feather in its cap. It gives it more cachet. It was previously going to come out for Valentine's Day 2025, although since Reed and Sue don't really have a great relationship, I don't know how that would have worked. But let's dive into this a little bit more. But I just first wanted to point out to you locking down summer kickoff movies. All right, so Deadpool 3 now has been moved up, and it took Captain America Brave New World's spot. I'm surprised that they didn't feel Captain America Brave New World could open and kick off the summer. It's a big movie. It's got Harrison Ford in it. It's got a bunch of Hulks. It should be a really exciting movie, but they moved it. And that's now coming out July 26, 2024, taking the previous Thunderbolts spot, which had to delay filming because of the writer's strike. Then Thunderbolts then had to go to December 20th, which it can do now because Avatar moved. So because Avatar moved, Thunderbolts is going to take that spot. I don't really know if Thunderbolts is a good movie for that. I think Thunderbolts to me seems like a summer movie, and they should have just waited or pushed it to 2025 in my opinion. But instead, Thunderbolts is going to come out in 2024 for the holidays? That doesn't make any sense to me. I agree, Mika. It's very much a Guardians. It's Marvel Suicide Squad. I think August or July would have been the best for that. Blade? I don't know if Blade's ever going to come out. Remember when Mahershala Ali took the stage at Comic-Con to announce that? He'd spent his Oscar capital on getting into the MCU. Of course, when he won his second Oscar, it was such a big deal for Green Book, and he said, I want to be in a Marvel movie, and I want to play Blade. And he got it. But it's taken freaking forever, man. I mean, this thing had to be rewritten several times. They've swapped out all the talent. It's just not coming together. I'm surprised he hasn't gone and tried to find another blockbuster while he waits. He could still be in Marvel. Chris Pratt does the Jurassic movies and Guardians. And then Fantastic Four, I think, really lucked out here because Blade took its... and also Blade for Valentine's Day? I mean, he's not a romantic character. I don't even think he's ever had a really strong love interest. I mean, Mia Goth, thank you, Josh Loves Movies. Mia Goth, I heard, was playing a character that maybe Blade could be involved with, but Black History Month. But still, it's Valentine's Day. Blade was supposed to come out September 6th and play all the way through Halloween, which would have been a better release date. But apparently, they had to do the old shuffle switcheroo because of what's going on. And also, Mia Goth's character to me seems very similar to Aubrey Plaza's character. We'll talk about that more in a moment, okay? But that seems weird to me. All right, so that's what's going on with these regular Marvel movies. Now let's look at the Avengers films. What a debacle, man. We were all so excited when these were announced. And now it's like, not great. Mika, MLK weekend would be, I think, a good idea for Blade. All right, so obviously, I think part of this move is because what's going on with Jonathan Majors. He has his court date this month. We'll see what happens. The district attorney is rumored to have multiple victims lined up, and it's not looking good. A lot of scandals, but Jonathan Majors is one of the few people who's actually finding himself in court. But that's why I think we're watching the Ezra Miller situation so closely, because if Ezra Miller can come back, Jonathan Majors can come back. So I think, let's see what happens. But it's looking really bad. And we don't know the scope of what the district attorney's office has until they actually have that hearing. All right, so how long is it taking for another Avengers movie? By the time Kang Dynasty comes out, it will have been 7 years. What is this, Avatar? Since Endgame. 7 years between Avengers movies. That, to me, is too long. That is nuts. And then also, what's the Avengers lineup going to be at this point? Because you're going to be shuffling through so many more characters that the people they were considering for Kang Dynasty, Destin Daniel Cretton's favorites, are going to maybe no longer be popular. And where's Shang-Chi 2, right? What's going to happen with Moon Knight? Where the heck is Moon Knight? How about Kate Bishop? No, what's going on? Dream, that's very generous of you. Dream says, I met someone that's working in costumes on Blade with the Black Panther Oscar-winning costume designer a few months ago. They were supposed to start filming here in Cleveland this summer. There was a big casting call as well. They probably still don't feel good about Blade, which is why they're partially delaying it. But then also they had to move all these other films. But anyway, I just don't, I think, and also what about Wanda in the Children's Crusade movie? When's that going to come out? I guess Elizabeth Olsen's getting her wish that she's getting a huge break, right? It's just too long. Also, why did we do an Agatha Harkness Coven of Chaos detour? Why didn't we just go immediately to Wanda? I'm starting to feel that there are just too many characters that are being introduced and then they get dropped. And I think that that's really a problem for the MCU. It just makes it, people get excited about a character only to never see them again. But then the characters that people like less, like Ms. Marvel, I'm sorry to say, they're like, oh, she's everywhere. And everybody's like, what? Where's my Wanda? Where's Kate Bishop? Where's Shang-Chi? Where's Moon Knight? And they're like, oh, those characters, not Wanda and not Kate Bishop, but Shang-Chi and Moon Knight, I'd heard, were going to be on Destin Daniel Cretton's. And She-Hulk, that's right, Damani. I liked She-Hulk, or at least I feel she has potential. When the heck are we ever going to see her again? Although maybe in her case, she needs a little breather. But that's just nuts. And then Avengers Secret Wars is 8 years later. How are they going to do the cameos at that point? The X-Men are supposed to be in that movie, Fox's X-Men. But that's 3 years after Deadpool 3? How are they going to line up these cameos? Will the actors still even be interested at that point? What shape will Marvel be at that time? It just seems so far away from me. I hope it works out. And when it finally rolls around, of course, I think many of us will, at least I'm saying that today. Who knows what I'll be saying in 4 years, right? 4 years from now for Secret Wars. But I just think it's just really, really long to have to wait. And I think it's a combination of just too many. That's the other thing. On Sunday on Movie Math, I talked about the fact that now that we're only making blockbusters, the box office, the theatrical release schedule is always just high. High. And there aren't ebbs and flows to it. And I think studios no longer have ebbs and flows, and there's just too much product to book. And I think there's too much. And I think nobody can possibly consume all these superhero movies. Certainly not with repeat viewing. There is going to be a contingent of the population that will go every single weekend, myself being one of them. But I feel like it's, you're not going to be able to get those huge grosses unless people go 3 or 4 times. And I think there's getting to be less space where you can carve out that kind of a run for yourself. But, let's see what happens, obviously. Adapt or die, so we'll see what happens. Streaming ain't going nowhere. All right, then next, let's talk Star Wars. What? Star Wars is still a thing. Fahad says Disney's destroyed the MCU and Star Wars in a single swoop in just a few short years. No one wants to admit it. I think people are kind of admitting it. I'll give you a little tea here. All right, so Star Wars. I gotta tell you, I'm watching Rebels. I'm having such a good time. I'm really enjoying myself. Bad Batch and I think if you just watch enough of the Filoni animated stuff, you will become a Star Wars fan. And it's just totally changed the way I feel about Star Wars. I just love it so much. I love being in that world. It's just really, really wonderful. And I'm so glad that Dave Filoni is taking over these movies. And of course, they did announce 3 movies at Star Wars Celebration, so I guess these are them, right? And one, of course, is Filoni's Star Wars movie, which I'm very, very excited about. I don't know how many people are going to show up, but I'll be there waving my flags in the front row. Now, Kathleen Kennedy has not been able to release a Star Wars movie since 2019. It's been 4 long years. She lost Feige. She lost Waititi. She lost Jenkins. She lost all of them. Ryan, they are never going to sell Lucasfilm. They make too much money off of it. However, I will tell you that I heard from a couple of people that if Indiana Jones flops, which is looking like it will, Kathleen Kennedy, that probably might do it. Now, I don't think she'll necessarily get fired, but I think they won't renew her contract, or she will decide to go do something else. If Kathleen Kennedy can't produce a good good Indiana Jones movie, when those are some of the films that she's worked on the most herself, that's just shocking. You're right, Mika. She'll probably get a producing deal, where she'll have like Amy Pascal. Amy Pascal rose like a phoenix from the ashes of her emails, and she's doing great. But I think, how can anybody still defend her after Indiana Jones doesn't do well? It's just too much at this point, and she just can't get anything off the ground. The only reason the shows are working out is because of Favreau and Filoni, quite frankly. And I don't know if you saw the headline. We're a little off topic here, but I will just say, I don't know if Shiv Roy, that's a funny comparison. That's funny and perhaps potentially accurate. But anyway, they spent $250 million on Andor, yet nobody watched it. I mean, I loved Andor, and it's not winning nearly enough awards. I mean, it's getting some recognition, but it ain't like a Succession where you're like, oh, it wins so many awards, it's okay. You're like, why would you spend $250 million on a show? And I know that some people loved it, but you guys, you got to put your business hats on. Oh, Gareth, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. B-Weeb, Andor might have been worth it to you, but from a fiscal perspective, it was irresponsible. It was $250 million. It never did particularly well in the ratings, and it isn't winning any awards, really. So it's getting nominated, but I don't really think it's winning anything. So that's horrible. That is a horrible return on your investment. I mean, that's more expensive than most Star Wars movies, and those at least made $1 billion. So that's really bad. All right, let's talk about these release dates. All right, now obviously they alternate Decembers with Avatar. So that's why you saw, I think that's why this first Star Wars movie from December 19th, 2025, which is obviously around when Avatar 3 is going to come out, why that moved up to the Memorial Day slot. I don't know about Memorial Day for Star Wars. I think we all remember the debacle that was Solo. I don't know if Star Wars is really, at this point, I think Star Wars is a good holiday movie. It's worked really well there. The idea of alternating between Avatar and Star Wars, or, I guess Thunderbolts, which of these does not belong, it's I thought that worked, but it's not working out, because they have all these delays. But anyway, we'll see. Let's see. If that's the Filoni movie, it can open whenever it wants. Dave Filoni can open his movie whenever he wants to. I don't care. Then this is a new Star Wars movie that was added for December 18th, 2026. And then they also have a Star Wars movie, Unchanged, on December 2027. But so, yeah, that's true. So it goes Avatar, Star Wars, Thunderbolts is, so the next December will be Thunderbolts after 2023. So next December, you got Thunderbolts, then Avatar 3, then Star Wars. What's coming out in December 2026? They don't have a December 2026, but you get the idea. All right, so that's what's going on with Star Wars. Let's talk about these other movies here. All right, so Alien. Oh, they dated their Alien movie. Pretty exciting. Don't mess it up, Fede Alvarez. Don't do it. Oh, I'm very nervous. Oh, yeah, Star Wars was 2026. Thank you. Are those two Star Wars movies back to back? Wait, let's go back for a second. Star Wars movies back to back 2 years in a row? That is a mistake. Why would they do that? That's stupid. I don't think you can do two Star Wars back to back. I think that's really a bad idea. I just noticed that now. You got to give a break. All right, so yes, two Star Wars in the same year, Wesley. I hope they feel good about those. Maybe one will be the James Mangold, quiet Western about, the first Jedi. I don't know. I don't really see that making a ton of money. You know what I liked about Star Wars Rebels? What's his name? Janin or Janice? The lead Jedi who's training Ezra. He's so good at fighting as a Jedi. He's using the Force all over the place. It's really great to watch his fights. All right, so I looked up what happened to his character. Oh, Kanan Jarrus. I was like, why isn't he in Ahsoka? Oh. All right, so let's go back to the Alien movie. So I don't know about Fede Alvarez and an Alien film, quite frankly. I'm a little nervous about it. I think Fede Alvarez isn't someone to handle an IP like that. I think he's better at smaller films, especially after he dropped the ball with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But whatever, man. It's coming out in August, mid-August. I wish it had the beginning of August, but it's coming out in the middle of August, 2024. So that seems to me like that crappy Predator movie you might recall from Shane Black. And so I get a little nervous about that. I hope Sigourney Weaver comes back, Zombie Boy Man, but so far that's a funny name. So far they haven't said anything, but they have cast a lot of other actors. It's very horror movie of the week so far, it seems. So I hope that's actually not the case. Alien, going out in space and touching stuff you shouldn't and getting infected. We're always watching these movies being like, put on your mask, follow protocol. All right, then finally, Moana. Here's Moana. Moana got dated not for Memorial Day, interestingly enough. Moana, a lot of Disney live action movies typically come out for the Memorial Day weekend holiday. Does somebody else here have the Memorial Day weekend? No, but it's the same time as Fantastic Four, which is interesting. That's live action Moana. Yeah, that's live action Moana. Same summer as Fantastic Four. And so we'll see how it does. I think that date is to play over the 4th of July weekend, obviously. That's what Indiana Jones has this year. So I think it's fine. Nobody really wants this movie, but, maybe they'll change our minds. I do really like the director they chose, Thomas Kail. I think he's phenomenal, so that makes me feel a little bit better about the project. Will Dwayne Johnson have the hair? We'll do a poll on that. Do you think he learned from Black Adam? Should Dwayne Johnson rock the hair for Maui? But I think he'd look weird in it, quite frankly. Yes, it's a must. He might look weird. No. Oh, no, yes. But he ain't gonna do it. And then, no. Bad idea. All right, there you go. He's not even quite big enough to do that. Did somebody just give some memberships? Gareth, thank you. I think I thanked you. Okay. All right, so you can take a moment to vote in that. And then in just a moment, I'm going to open it up to Ask Me Anything for the final 10 minutes of the stream. And we'll have a great time, everybody. It's going to be so great. I don't know how he couldn't have the hair. I think it would be extremely bizarre, but I do think he'd also look weird in it. He did have long hair in The Scorpion King, David, but it was very, very luxurious, Maui has like funny hair, and I think that could look really funny on Dwayne Johnson. It is a musical, Ross. I mean, they better do the songs. Lin-Manuel Miranda's involved, I think. So I really, Jonas, I am on season 1 still of Rebels, but I'm closing in on the end. Subasiso says, what's going to happen to the show dates and Armor Wars? I'm conflicted. They haven't mentioned anything about the show dates just yet. But let's finish this poll. Oh, that was fast. Okay. A lot of votes, baby. 40% of you said he must. Well, 27% of you said he should, but he ain't going to do it. And then 20, so you're basically, the majority of you feel the hair is a must, but you're a little bit torn on whether or not he'll do it. And then 24% of you think it'll look weird, and only 7% of you think it's a bad idea. Oh, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. All right, so let's do the Ask Me Anything section of the video for 10 minutes. It's 2:33. You can ask me anything you'd like. Heck, let's just go till 2:45. Buck's Basement says, Sonic 3 versus Thunderbirds. I give it to Sonic. Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, it does have Yelena and Bucky. Thank you very much. I'm pretty excited about that. Let's see here. What else? I saw somebody just say something there. Ivan, you got the job at Fox Studios. Congratulations. Oh, I can't wait. That's wonderful. What an exciting opportunity for you. Thank you, Celestine. J. King says, is House of the Dragon not filming anymore because of the SAG strike? I think there's stops and starts. Sometimes they can get to them and they can't cross the picket line. So I think you're kind of like having a back and forth. Adrian says, now that you've started Rebels, have your thoughts changed on their live action casting? Well, I'm only on the first season still, so I haven't gotten to know all the characters yet. But I think, I think the two biggest obvious cool characters are, I forgot his Janin, and Ezra. And they're not big characters in the trailer so far. But I hope we're surprised, at least with a lot of Ezra. Hey, Mr. Magic. Hey, James. Let's see here. Glalia Master says, are any of these movies going up against Superman Legacy? Just curious. Good question. Let me remind myself as to Superman Legacy's release date. Hold on. Wait a minute. July 11th, 2025. So let's bring up the dates again. 2025, that's very crowded. 2025. Not really. Fantastic Four will be there, but like pretty big difference between them. So that looks okay to me. Although Fantastic Four and Superman are both very old school properties, so that's interesting. The Rock can sing, Katie Lady. He sang in the original. That was him. Oh, Heidi also wants him to sing. Let's see here. Hey, Poke. I'm glad you got a membership. JK, oh, I answered that. Yes, Shahar, I heard Vanessa Kirby very likely got Sue Storm. I can't 100% confirm, but it's looking promising. Let's see here. Ryan Smith says, Grace, what about Marvel's Armor Wars? Great question, Ryan. Who the heck knows when that's coming out? It's supposed to be a movie now, but apparently it's not coming out until after 2027. I mean, they still have a couple of dates to fill in 2026 and 2027, but it's just too much. Oh, so Ingrid, I'm sorry you missed the vote. Sorry about that. Maddie says, who is your favorite Rebels character so far? Ezra, love that kid. Vibe says, Grace, do you set your TV to 24 frames per second? No, I try not to mess with my TV. I like my TV a lot, and so far it seems fine. Christina, I'm not sure when Barbie tickets go on sale. I've been wondering the same thing myself. I ain't getting closed out of opening weekend like I did Oppenheimer. Let's see here. Art of CU says, thoughts on what the Flash's opening weekend box office might be. You know, I gotta tell you, it could go in any direction. I'm saving a live stream for Friday so we can talk about the Thursday night box office because that's gonna be really telling. And that'll finally give us some idea of how it's gonna do. But right now, it's anybody's guess. You know what the Flash's box office is? It's Schrodinger's cat right now. Who the heck knows, man? We gotta open the box on Thursday night. Who gifted some memberships? Oh, Ivan, in celebration of your job? That's so nice of you. All right, let me see. Did I miss anybody's super chats? Nope. Chico says, Grace, when will the Young Avengers assemble? I'm kind of hoping never. I don't think they would be well received, quite frankly. I think that ended up being a mistake. Zombie Boyman says, when will the writer's strike end? Well, I think a lot of it depends on what happens with SAG. If SAG also folds and makes a deal, that's going to really hurt the Writers Guild. But right now, people are still expecting it to last for the summer. Any Fantastic Four M-Fids? As I tweeted this morning, I heard Vanessa Kirby is either already signed or very close to signing for Sue Storm. I really hope she gets it. I think she's definitely the best choice. GMAS says, sorry if this is random, but a couple of days ago you were in my dream. For some reason you were driving a bus. Oh, I love it. No wonder someone said Grace the bus driver. I was wondering what that was. Wah, wah. All aboard. I love it. I hope it was a good dream. Hey, Ben 10, thank you for that. Oace says, hey Grace, hope you're doing okay. Have you watched Abbott Elementary? Just finished it yesterday. It was so good. I've seen a few of those episodes, and I really like the cast a lot. Oh, Canon Jarrus. Nobody ever really calls him by his name. At least, I don't know. I'm just like, to me, he goes back and forth between Goatee Guy and Freddie Prinze Jr. I had no idea Freddie Prinze Jr. sounded like that. I was like, who's doing this guy's voice? He's great. Freddie Prinze Jr. is probably pretty bummed that he's not around anymore either as a character. Let's see here. Celestine says, is 53 too old to be a member here? Of course not, Celestine. Everyone is welcome. That's crazy, Celestine. Not only are you a valued member, but I love that you're a vocal member. That's, you know, everybody's welcome to these discussions. And I love hearing everybody's perspective. That is the way to go. That is the most important. I feel bad that you even thought that maybe that was the case. You're the best. Let's see here. Oop, catching up. Graymo says, hi from Atlanta. There's a Barbie tour with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling in New York City soon. Will you go? Well, I'm waiting to hear details about what exactly it entails. Is it actually a tour, or are they going on a world premiere tour and just doing premieres everywhere? So I need to see more about what it is. Drake Benefield says, will Barbie and Oppenheimer share premium screens? Well, Drake, the way I see it going down, because there aren't any tickets on sale for Oppenheimer and Dolby yet. So my guess is that Oppenheimer will take all the IMAXs, as Christopher Nolan intended, and then Barbie will take the Dolby. That seems to me like the best way to do it. That's very King Solomon of me. I've split the premium screens in half. You're the idiots who decided to open the same weekend. Let's see here. Breno says, do you think November will repeat what's happened in March and is happening now at the box office? You mean, Breno, being too crowded? Let's see. I feel that the movies in November are not as strong. So let's see what happens. Freedom Tompkins, yes, Guardians of the Galaxy, thank you. As I forgot to mention that on on Sunday on Movie Math. Guardians of the Galaxy passed 800 million, so I think Marvel can feel really good about that. It probably bothers James Gunn a little bit. He didn't get to $1 billion, but he should feel good about it. I think that's very good that he passed 800 million. Mr. Andrews, I'm not quite sure when I'm watching Mission Impossible. I love those emojis that you used. I'm not quite sure when I'm watching Mission Impossible. But, I think Paramount tends to do them a little closer to the release date. Foyce and Jex says, is Fast and Furious turning into the Expendables? I'm not sure, but I saw that Expendables new trailer and I was like, I hope everybody here is getting paid, because this is getting embarrassing. Gramos, so I did Gramos there. Oh, you guys are very sweet. SMR Goose, I haven't seen Asteroid City, and I got to tell you, this is getting so crowded, I probably won't see it. I'll probably wait till it becomes available on streaming if I watch it then. Noah says, my friends are planning to make Barbie and Oppenheimer a double feature opening weekend. Are you going to do the same? Or anyone else in the BTT community? No, well, I'll see them earlier to review them, but as far as seeing them with the general public, I will see them. Oppenheimer, my tickets are for after opening weekend because it's selling out like crazy here in New York City. And I will see Barbie opening weekend again. But, all my plans, I was thinking of doing a ticket montage, but I can't do that now because Comic-Con is that weekend. So I'm going to be going crazy covering Comic-Con. So, Liros, I'm not sure how I would cast as Emma Frost and Jean Grey. I'm not quite sure what age range Kevin Feige will be going for. Gramos, it's all better here. Thank you. Oh, what do you think of Tyler Perry buying BET and VH1? Oh, no wonder he was trending. Good for Tyler Perry. He's a good businessman, and I think something's needed to re-energize those brands. I don't know if Tyler Perry's the one to do it, but I think, he'll certainly probably do something with them. I think it's more interesting that BET and VH1 had sunk to a position where he could afford, even though he's very wealthy, but that, an individual, well, he actually has his whole own business at this point, but that he could buy them. Seems like they might have been on sale. Nacho says, hey Grace, with Guardians crossing 800 million, Chris Pratt is the only Chris that keeps delivering. Will the controversy go away with this? I don't think it will, because I think Chris Pratt, I want to be clear. I really like Chris Pratt on screen, but I think that he's very evangelical and that he's very much talking about religion all the time. And I think that makes some people uncomfortable. I think some people love it. And I've talked about this before, and someone said in a response that, well, that's the whole point of Christianity, to spread the word and, try to recruit people. But, I think those same people would be pretty upset if other people were telling them all about their religion. So I think that's a little hypocritical. And, I'm an American, and I believe very strongly in separation of church and state. But I would go even further than that I believe that religion is really a personal matter. And then also I think that a lot of religions, unfortunately, have had issues and scandals. So, I do sense a loss with the church on Sundays as a place for communities to gather and to keep towns together and for people to see each other. And I feel really bad that that's gone from society. But I think that the church is partially to blame because of all of their scandals and the way they betrayed the trust of their followers. Unicorn! All right, so thank you, Boab, for gifting 5 memberships. That's very generous of you. Yet again, you're so generous to this community. Thank you. Media Lover says, do you think Snow White is going to tank? I gotta see it, but I don't feel good. Max Beck says, hi, Grace, just checking in to say hi. Oh, hi, Max. CR Cass says, I think Chris seems like a very nice person. I'm not doubting that he is, but I don't know still how he would act based, on his beliefs. That's where I think it starts to get a little bit scary. I think that's one of the reasons people get nervous about evangelical things, because people will say they're coming from a good place, but yet what they prioritize and what they so fiercely often believe in can be a direct threat to others. So that's where it becomes very difficult. I think you'll find that most people are willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and let you do you. I think where you really start to have a problem with someone's like, hey, don't you want to do it too? And it's I think that's where people start to become uncomfortable. Cole Jackson says, Grace, been a fan since the Indie Mogul days. Thanks, Cole. You inspired me to be a filmmaker, and everything came to a head today. I'm currently in Cannes and was just admitted to NYU to study cinema. Oh, huzzah! Congratulations! That's a wonderful program. Congratulations, Cole. I'm so excited for you. That's fantastic. Oh, this is a good news day. A lot of people have good news to share. Danny says, hey, Grace, have you seen last Star Wars open world video game? I like the protagonist. I did see that trailer. I thought it looked okay. Mikey says, what's your favorite spy movie? Spy with Melissa McCarthy. No, but I do love that movie. I love it so much. But I really like Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. And I guess the last Mission Impossible is also my favorite spy movie as well. I love that spy film. That's phenomenal. But I'm excited for the next one. I got to get my opening weekend tickets before it falls off of IMAX. Poor Tom Cruise. Alexander Wilson says, what's the next studio to announce delays? Paramount? I don't know. Paramount should just stop giving their movies horrible release dates. But I don't know. Maybe Warner Brothers Discovery might announce some delays. But, Disney was smart to go first because they get, yoink. They get all the dates they want. And also they just kind of rearranged a lot of the, that's the other thing. One of the reasons they do this is just to claim these dates so that everybody else can't have them and also knows to stay away. Hey, Dolan says, since you're talking about Pratt, who is your favorite Hollywood Chris? I'm a Pine girl all the way. I do love me some Chris Pine. But I also really love Chris Hemsworth. I'm going to watch Extraction 2 tonight so that I can review it later this week. And I really like him too. Some good Chris's out there. Chris Evans. Max Beck says, on the subject of good news, and again, I like Chris Pratt on screen. I do. I think he's a very charismatic and good actor. Max Beck says, on the subject of good news, I recently directed a multi-million-dollar grant proposal, and I was thinking of how you would review it the whole time. Thanks, Max. That's pretty cool. That's exciting. The power you wield. The power. Let's see here. And Armando says, hey, Grace, have you ever played a VR game? I have not. I'm not a gamer. I don't even own a gaming system, as many of you know. So I react to these video game trailers when they kind of are going to affect my space. Like if they did a new Last of Us game, I would definitely react to that. I'm probably going to take a break from reacting to the Mortal Kombat trailers, except for when they do Jean-Claude Van Damme, whenever his skin is shown for Johnny Cage. And then also the DLC. The DLC is right up my alley. I will definitely be reacting to those trailers. I'm very excited for everybody to finally find out what they are doing. Alwatch says, would you rather be a Kryptonian, a speedster, or a vigilante? LOL's a rich vigilante. Thank you for clarifying there. I think it does make a difference. I go with Kryptonian because then I'm also a speedster, quite frankly. And I can have all the additional powers like flight and invulnerability and heat vision and freeze breath. Sounds good to me. You guys want, Kara, you want a favorite Chris poll? That's a fun idea. Okay, we'll do it. Favorite Chris? We'll see who everybody agrees with. Chris Pratt. Chris Pine. Oh, I misspelled that. 1 second. Typo. Chris Pine. Chris Evans. You can only choose one. And then Chris Hemsworth. Oh, they're all pretty great. Oh, Chris Tucker. I wish I could have put Chris Tucker in there. That's funny, Kareem. That's right, Glalie. It is Chris Evans' birthday. No pressure to vote for him. Mika says Lincoln Square Dolby and IMAX Flash tickets are doing well. Oh, really? I was checking them, Mika, and it looked like there were a lot of seats still available. I mean, maybe not in IMAX, but if you wanted to see the Flash in Dolby, you can still get tickets. Trebby, I'm going back to your super chat. I'm going back. Armando says, hey, great. Oh, sorry. Where is your super chat? How did I miss it? Thank you, Isaac. You better ask it again in regular, and I'll look for it. Let's see here. Mima says, have you heard anything about the Crazy Rich Asians sequel? Are we still getting it? I don't know. You know, John Cho is very busy making the Wicked movies. And then Constance Wu, you know, her PR train just went off a cliff. So I don't really know if they can, quite frankly. And I think even Awkwafina is struggling a little bit. Shahar says, are you going to review Joyride? I'd like to. Let me see. I'm going to try. I really would like to review that movie. And it shouldn't be too crowded maybe around then. Nathan says, I was asking what you thought about Ezra Miller at the premiere last night. I might talk about it in tomorrow's live stream. So I'm going to abstain from that question for now. So sorry. Britt, I did hear about the rumor about Emma Stone and the Fantastic Four, and that rumor single-handedly blew apart the cast they had almost assembled, as I'm sure you might have heard a couple of other people report. Hey, Ernest Menville, I like your name. It's very old school. Klaus, I'm not sure when the stream tomorrow will be. You know, a lot of this stuff, I was going to do today's stream much later today. I was going to watch my Secret Invasion screeners first, but this story was too big and I didn't want to sit on it. You know, one of the great things about doing the live is that I can be very close to breaking news. And in fact, I'm working to maybe do my live videos even more so. I'll tell you more about it when I have a plan for when to do it and how. So I'm working on that. So I really like doing the live, and it allows me to come out very close to, you know, I would have done this maybe even earlier, but I wanted to react to the Elio trailer, which turned out to be a waste of my time because nobody cares. They got a tough time over there. Asami, where did that go? Asami says, hey, thanks, Grace. I joined late and missed the polls, but I got here in time for the Chris one. Yay! Oh, I hope the other person who missed the poll, I hope they got to vote in this one. Frosty Salt said, what do you think of Halle's Ariel getting a Disney Junior series? I don't know. So far, most people weren't being too mean about it, which I felt good about. I'm like, I hope people realize that's a show directly aimed at children and you know, just leave it alone. But I just don't think that's going to work out. I think they need to work on creating a new character of color. That's where they will really benefit. Oh, all right, so wow, I'm way over the time because I love talking to you guys. All right, let me end this poll and then I'll do shout outs. Oh, my pleasure, Klaus. Chris Evans won on his birthday. Wow, why don't you guys pay to see his movies? Or maybe, you know, it's just not enough. So Chris Evans won with a whopping 43%, almost 50% of the Chris vote. Chris Pine came in second. He's like, what about Dungeons & Dragons? At 19%, tied with Chris Hemsworth. And you know, Chris Pratt had a pretty decent showing. So the other Chris's can all hold their head high. But Chris Evans is the Chris Supreme. I love it. I love it. All right, no more questions. Shout outs only. What are you up to? What are you doing? So I can say hi to you. Alyssa. Hey, Alyssa. I like your use of emoji there. Nathan Gonzalez says, at work on my lunch break. Oh, hooray. I'm glad that timing worked out. Oasis, getting ready to leave school tomorrow. Ooh, exciting. It's summertime for you. Dallin Rowell says, watching from my new pink home office in Arizona. Oh, how nice. Pink is a great color. I'm glad you were able to get some paint because, you know, Barbie obviously said they created a run on pink paint. And that's wonderful. Congrats on building a home office. It sounds like it's really pretty. Salem says, I'm eating breakfast at 3 p.m. Ain't no shame in that, Salem. Breakfast all day, baby. Heather S. says, at work in Raleigh, North Carolina. Always nice to see you, Heather. Michael McKenna says, back to work in Chicago. Love it. Alexia Torres says, bye from the Senate. Are you in the Senate in D.C.? Alexia, do you work in the Senate somehow? Oh, you must DM me on the Twitters and give me the rundown. Ezra Weeble says, just got back from jury duty. Oh, wow, that's exciting. I hope you have a good case. Adam Kupka says, about to watch the first Mortal Kombat movie. Oh, that's legendary. Have fun. Enjoy it. Well, Ben 10 is going to bed in France. Bonne nuit. I did it right. Haha. I almost blanked on it for a minute there. Oh, you did vote, Ingrid? That's great. Yay. Chris Kahn says, I'm in the gym pretending to do stuff. Awesome, Chris. I love it. Sophia says, greetings from Florida, making myself some peach tea. Oh, delicious, delicious. Well, Jico is about to take a shower after cleaning your multiple bathrooms, Jico. I love it. And I'm glad you're taking care of them. Glad you don't take your bathrooms for granted. Taryn Martirosian says, I am watching you, Grace. That's great. By the way, I watched The Idol and the script is all over the place. Yeah, the ratings went down. It's not looking good for The Idol. Boy, inappropriate. Nobody cares. How embarrassing. Fidel Prestigi says, repainting my laundry room in Memphis. Oh, that's awesome. I wonder what color you chose. Oh, Marduk, Fate de Beau Rev. Oh, that's awesome. I don't know what I just said. Katie Lady says, in Fork, Washington, a.k.a. Los Angeles, California. I don't get the joke, Katie Lady, but I like that I like that you're in a good mood. My pleasure, Poke. B. Weeb says, please like the stream. Yes, that would be appreciated. If you could like the stream, maybe subscribe. It's up to you, no pressure, but I would appreciate it, and then you'll know when all the videos are going up. And while you're subscribing, don't forget to hit the notifications button, and you'll always get a 30-minute advance notice, usually, when YouTube is working, of when we're going to have a live stream. See here. Oh, Katie Lady says, LOL, it's from Twilight, a rainy town where the vamps are hiding, and LA has not been sunny for 2 weeks now. Yeah, I heard the weather in LA was not great. That's crazy. I'm sorry it's so bleak. Frankenstein says, hi, Grace. Follow her since your America's Next Top Model review days. Oh, you're an OG. I loved that. I missed that show. That was a good show. Happy to be a member thanks to gifted memberships. Oh, I'm so glad you got a gifted membership. That's awesome. Nice use of emojis there. Salvador says, I never get notified even though I have them on. That's ridiculous, Salvador. I have them turned on from my other account just so I can test to make sure they're working. And they are working. You know, you might want to try turning off notifications and turning them back on again and see if that helps. And Aaliyah says, I usually only get a notice when you're beginning to stream. What the heck, YouTube? So annoying. GMass says, what river is behind you? I'm not telling. Let's see here. TJ Williams says, Tyra was vicious to those girls. She was, but she taught so many valuable lessons. I still remember about smizing to this day. Oh, Fiction Fan, I'm glad you like my blouse. Thank you very much. I got this just recently. And Armando says, I got a new gifted membership. I'm so excited. Now I'm happily sipping coffee. Oh, that's awesome. Yay. And Mr. Andrew says, in Barcelona, finishing my dinner. It's almost 9 p.m. in Spain, and the weather has been so nice so far. Oh, that's lovely. That's very nice. All right, well, I better get going. I got to watch my Secret Invasion screeners, and the review embargo lifts tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'll give you a little advance notice, kind of. Take this with a grain of salt, okay? Things could change, like if a big story drops or something. But what I'm planning to do right now is the tomorrow Secret Invasion review at noon. I have to time these things to go with the notifications. Like if I dropped my Elemental review this evening, you wouldn't get a notification for my Secret Invasion review tomorrow. So I have to hold off on the Elemental review because of that. All right, so anyway, tomorrow, Secret Invasion review at noon, Elemental review later in the day. Then on Thursday, Extraction 2 review. That embargo lifts at 8 in the morning. And then my Flash spoiler review and lots of Flash videos and maybe some other fun stuff as well. There will be one stream either tomorrow or Thursday, probably tomorrow. And then I'm saving a stream for Friday so we can talk about that Thursday night Flash box office. Ooh, I wonder what it's going to be. Let's take a poll. Hold on, let's start a poll. We'll do one last poll. We'll just do what do you think the Flash's box office will be for the whole weekend. All right, so we'll do another poll on Friday. All right, so under 50 million, under 70 million, then we'll do around 100 million, and then we'll do 125, more than 125 million. That's kind of where we are. I think it's probably between the middle two, depending on how people react. All right, there you go. We'll just give you a moment to vote. Then we'll see what the results are. Oh, 100 million still in the lead. Bye, Danny. This is domestic, Chris. This is domestic, not worldwide. These numbers would be so bad if they were worldwide. It would be devastating. Oh, my pleasure, Joshua. All right, let's see how many votes we have. Oh, just give you another minute. Some of you maybe can't decide. This was a very last minute poll. I think a lot of people signed off because I said we were done. Just give it a minute. I can't vote in the poll. I mean, I guess I could open a different window and vote, but why should I? I don't want to throw it off. All right, there we go. Let's just end it there. And let's see what you guys came up with. Did it not go into the chat? There it is. All right, 47% think it will be under 70, while around 41%. Oh, so most of you feel it'll be okay. That's good. None of you are expecting a shockingly good or shockingly bad box office. So let's see. That'll be good. Let's see what happens. Whoa! Michael, that is extremely generous of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. That was very, very kind of you. Thank you. I would love for it to make around 100 too. I'm nervous about all the drama. I think a lot of people won't be able to see past it, which is understandable, but unfortunate because it's such a great movie. But we'll see what happens. But Michael Lukash, that was really, really very nice of you and generous. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day and look for that content tomorrow. All right, bye, everybody. Bye-bye.